Galaxy 666 by Pel Toro. Session 29.
Welcome back, my friends, to Galaxy 666. As always, Tug here to lend a hand in bringing you through the morose. First, I still enjoy how when Pel refers to the greatest features of Galaxy 1, the entire Milky Way galaxy, which are huge draws for tourists, he notes only things in our solar system. I would say a fair equivalent is to look back nostalgically and recall the great features of the planet Earth, such as the Bellagio Casino in Vegas, or the Luxor Casino in Vegas, or Caesar's Palace Casino in Vegas. There must be something cooler in our galaxy than the craters on the moon. The bog that is Section 28 continues along in Chapter 8. We are on the planet with the lads, wandering around aimlessly, taking in the view. And the view this time is unique. The action, if you can call it that, focuses on the discovery of a large structure rising unnaturally from the alien landscape, which, it should be obvious, is a description of a beer bottle standing on the floor of Pel's house, the gray, pink, white, slippery linoleum floor. Many clues abound as to the fact that Pel has elected to start describing as the alien landscape whatever features of his house lay close at hand. Regarding the artifact, it was described at the very end of the last session, and for a review it is read here again. It was about the same diameter as the mounds which they had passed. It was circular as they had been, but it reared up to a pinnacle above their heads, till it must have been 1,000 feet above them. The golden glow seemed to be emanating particularly from a rectangular area on the surface that now faced them. In the center of this rectangular area, rather more toward the top than in the geometric center, there was a red band extending almost the full distance across, and occupying something like 1/6 of the jaundiced rectangle. There were strange yellow marks carved, so it seemed, into this red band. The golden rectangle clearly implies a gold-color label with a red stripe and yellow lettering. Some of our more enterprising team members may wish to try to search out the brand of alcohol in question. For my part, I do not know. He describes it as tall and circular, and in this session he clearly identifies it as a yellow bottle. It is huge because we are meant to be viewing it from the size of ants. So let's set the scene. Pel is tired and working on Galaxy 666. His leg is aching after recently slipping and falling on the gray linoleum, which has pink and white marble-like accents. But he can't be distracted. He has to keep moving through the book and describe an alien world, and nothing is coming to mind. He casts around his flat and comes to the pragmatic conclusion, why not use his home as the model? This will not be the last time he does this, and we can actually make a game of trying to guess what he is actually describing when he purports to be describing an object, let's say, a tower. Here the floor becomes the ground, and a couple of brown socks have been rolled off his feet and dropped on the floor become squashed circular hills. And then there is the beer bottle or some other alcohol bottle placed on the floor as well. Of all the times in Galaxy 666 where we should be alongside laughing with Pel Toro, this is clearly one of them. He obviously wants us there with him as he distinctly states, I would say that it was a gigantic Alco bottle placed on the floor of his living room by an untidy giant. This pink and white stuff we're walking over might also be linole. This scene is intended as comedy as our hapless boobs try to figure out what a beer bottle is. What is it? They ask of each other. No one knows. And then they begin a philosophical discussion on what is knowable and unknowable, at the end of which Oski snaps the punchline. This isn't solving our problem.
What is that thing?
Their empty rants, as usual, do nothing to help them understand their current situation. Pel uses the rant to touch on several themes this time, chief among them is man's effort to examine the world and try to understand it.
Life, said Korzak, is often wasted looking for the right answers. What we ought to do is learn to ask the right questions.
First, the paragraph is set off dramatically by the opening word, life, giving it a bit more weight than the standard dialogue, indicating we should consider it a bit more. And I also believe that Pel is injecting his personal ideals into the arguments of Korzak and Ishklaw. They believe that we should avoid ceaseless treadmills of our own devising, but should engage on philosophical discussions. What is existence? And what does it mean to exist? Metaphysics do have a place. Bronet, however, isn't buying it, and neither are we. There is a time and a place for philosophy, but marooned on a planet without any plan is probably not one of them. As Oski, with surprising clarity, articulates,
This isn't solving our problem.
I fear more problems in philosophy await us as we lumber along in
Galaxy 666.
Here ends Section 29.